yeah, so today we're going to hopefully knock out all of these. So lock in. I haven't looked at these yet, so I'm looking at these with y'all. So y'all get to see the fight against the rough mix live and in person. Let's see. Reverb on ad-libs, hi-hats a little bit louder. Okay, so it just sounds like a drums up thing. So let's just delete that. I'll just do drums up. So I'll just delete that too. Okay. Let's get to it. Should just call it mix 2 notes. So before you make any major changes, I think we can all agree that you have to timber. Oh, so this week we're gonna do the EQ lesson at some point this week. I haven't decided what day. I'm extremely busy right now, which is why we haven't been streaming as much. Also, apparently, just all my stuff got rewired, so that's why the stream's a little late today. I guess I should start with that. So I had to rewire everything because for some reason, all of the cables going from here to there were not connected. And then once I did that, all of the programs in there stopped working. So no, Zach can't get anywhere near my cables after what he put in the Discord yesterday. So I think in general, what we start with here.
So the one turning me on, making the enemy gone every day with the sauce like Prego. Yo, scribble out all of my dough, making the ditty a dub foes, break fast like Ego. Yo, and confident up a friend and I don't want to blend into it all. I ain't a gecko. Big dog from the get go. Gunning for the goal, better let go. I'm 6'5" when I want to. My mind broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 down to my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the my mind broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure 8 my mind. Broken to right now. Figured out the figure.
That's an easy note. Sorry. I don't know why this button's so far away. So that's an easy note in general. Also, I got a new hoodie. It's pretty exciting news for me. I slept, so I guess let me start off telling y'all how my day went. I made sure I got home early last night because I was like, I'm going to stream tomorrow. I need a good night's rest, so I'm in a good mood, so I'm not weird or grumpy to all these nice people that are just trying to learn just because they're asking insane questions that I wouldn't ask myself. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to get my good rest. I'm going to drink a bunch of water. I'm going to make sure I'm feeling good, right? And so I get to the studio like an hour or 2 hours ago. And I'm like, oh, it's easy. I'll just turn everything on and we'll get right to streaming. Everything's been like the same. Then I forgot that I rewired my whole PC recently because all the RAM was all fucked up because we're stupid. Anyways, so none of the cables are right. Ryan, thank you. Also, we're gonna have our emails up this week. We submitted them. I don't know why they got approved. I don't know why they're not there. Also, I have to run ads more, apparently. They said I don't run enough ads, so you're going to see more ads if you're not subscribed, unfortunately. I was supposed to bring Gordy today. I fucked up. Anyway, so I get here, nothing's working, right? The GoPro doesn't show up. The Mac doesn't show up. Sorry. Let me. Nothing's working. Obviously now it's all working. The audio is not getting picked up. Like, so my Antelope software is working, but then we have to have that go into a digital interface so that we're not just getting full on desktop audio. Because you don't want to hear like alerts and other things. So we have this voice meter, something or other, which is like the cheapest thing. But it works. It's good quality audio. It's great. Damn, Ryan. Thank you. If you get a sub from someone, make sure you say thank you. We're grateful here for those things. So I restarted the computer 5 times, trying to get it to pick up. It just kept crashing and then just randomly started working. And so yeah, man. So that was frustrating. So I was in a good mood. I was trying to maintain my mood, do my best, and I'm just like screaming at a computer for an hour and a half, which was pretty cool. But here we are. We did it. I actually kind of feel like really proud of myself for persevering because I was getting ready to quit. Ooh, level 5 hype train. Let's fucking go. So we're in March. We're in March. So in general, in March, over the next week and a half, I expect to do a lesson stream, a mixing stream, and an interview stream, right? Over the next week and a half. Hopefully, as of tomorrow, we will have the TSB stuff sorted out because we got a new camera. They have the same camera. We all have a camera. We're all going to Zoom. We need to get the overlay. And we're going to have a TSB stream within the next 2 weeks. And so it'll be 2 TSB streams this month, multiple interviews, multiple mix streams. We're going to mix some music for Timber. I'm going to start posting in the submission Discord, listening to the... If you're a subscriber, there's a submission Discord, and I'm going to be mixing one of the subscriber songs this month. Finish the Days Over stuff, hopefully, in the next 2 days. So that will be coming out soon. Finishing Student 1 today. Thank you, Ryan. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Oh, why did I just get a whole bunch of notifications? Oh. Sloza told me to change the screen. Thank you, Sloza. I did it already. I freaking did it, dude. Alicia! So that's what we have to look forward to with the stream. Would like to do some recording sessions. Obviously, COVID makes it hard for me to bring multiple people into the studio. My friend Tony will probably come in and do a song. Hopefully, he'll have a song written and produced, and we can do that. We can record a full song with him. I know Alau said he wanted to bring Rocco Ballins in. Again, like, because of COVID, it's kind of like, do I want to wear a mask for 5 hours to do a stream? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll have more. I want to do, there's the SVS stuff. I want to talk about that. So our Discord is doing an album, entering into an album competition. I think they've done all the songs. I haven't gotten a chance to listen yet, but we have a whole section in the Discord for it. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out. It's really awesome. A lot of people are talking about how much it helped them personally throughout, this pandemic. Oh my God, these album covers are insane. So it's pretty cool. I will be helping, but I don't want to mix any of the songs. I want the Discord to handle all of that. I want that there's so many engineers this is just not a candle I should be lighting. There's so many engineers in the Discord that for me to mix everything seems kind of counterintuitive to the community. So I want the mixing to be split amongst the community. Anyways, we're on the right screen, right? All right. Less reverb on ad-libs. Cool. Okay. No. Don't close. Cancel. Let's reverb ad-libs. It's just this one. All right, let's go down to 25. And then on the hook, it's already pretty low. Where are the yes?
Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, yeah, bitch, yeah. I stay in chaos, out where you don't wanna be. Where trust don't exist, where it's too many you want it. Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, yeah, bitch, yeah. I stay in chaos, out where you don't want to be, where trust don't exist, where it's too many you want to be. Unlike Stu Cello in RSL, put the mask on, never played a part well. Puffin' OG gas like a fire smell, jeweled up with the work, I feel like I'm a cartel. Competition like comics, marvel at the word in my song. Talk real wild. Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, yeah, bitch, yeah.
Yes, Navin, it was mixed before. We're doing, if you read the stream, we're doing mixed notes, which when you mix things, sometimes people have notes, and so we're doing the notes. So I've run 30 seconds of it, whatever.
Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, okay, yeah, bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, what? I stay in, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, what? I stay in chaos. However you don't.
About it.
Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, okay, yeah, bitch, yeah, yeah, bitch, yeah, what? I stay in chaos, where you don't wanna be, where trust don't exist, where it's too many
One song down. Side rail. They should let you just put your own songs in the car. I don't understand why they can't like link to Spotify. I'm pretty sure you can do that like in other games, no? Just play your own songs. I mean, doesn't PlayStation have its own like Spotify app? How do I manage notes? I delete them as I do them, so that I move on with my brain. And then when it comes to most of the time when you're mixing in general, the notes that you get are in the artist's language, like how they speak on music. So it's like an interpretation thing. Luckily, Alec, simplified what seems to be a lot of notes into like, engineer speak. But normally what you have is like, this feels this way and it needs to feel a different way. And so a lot of notes is interpreting, like having a good relationship with the artist helps you kind of interpret things better. Oh yeah. I mean, it's fun to see how differently people speak about music. I enjoy it a lot. This is the warmest hoodie. It's too warm. It's like very insulated. I mean, that's like Michelle from Japanese Breakfast told me that she wanted the song to sound like someone found a cassette tape on Jupiter and played it. Cider, why did you send me this? Why? Why are there two of them? Why? Why? Is the mix done? So, for everybody who hasn't been here before or doesn't know what's happening right now, I did this mix already. All we're doing is the small changes that the artist asked for, which is part of the process, on every song. I'm going to have to, when I do this, I'm going to have to do it off stream. I didn't realize that was there, so let's just actually cover that up. So I'll do that. I'll do Dirty Bands last. I'm just gonna go in order, to be honest. I didn't know. Is this the song order, by the way? No, I'm just explaining. So basically the song is done, and all we're doing today is going over mix notes and showing the process of doing mix notes. We were gonna do it originally for the Days Over stuff, but a lot of their mix notes when we started involved like we just needed new parts, and I was like, hey guys, you need to send me new parts if I'm gonna do this. And so we did like an hour and a half of going through mix notes, and let me make sure to not show anything here. Sick. Just in case. So in general, like I make a new folder every new pass saying these are the mix notes from this day, and so the wave, I don't look at the waveform in general, because it's often misleading, and like somebody will look at this and be like, oh, it's a brick, but if I zoom out, I'll show you in a second, once I bounce. Mix 2 notes. Like every time I mix, someone's like, oh, this shit's smashed to all oblivion. But then if I zoom out, you just see like hella what structure? I'm confused. So in general, it depends on the mastering engineer. So Joe Laporta likes this version, which is what I call a listen version, right? It is essentially a mastered song, right? As far as loudness, and I'm sending like a high quality wave, etc., etc. It's like at mastered volume. So I send that to Joe, and then I'll take off the last two limiters, the Pro L2 and the Invisible limiter, for Joe Laporta. That's the way he likes it. He says just take off the last two limiters. I used to have one limiter, and I would just back off of the gain on it. But now that I've added more steps, and this is part of why I added more steps, I can just take off the limiters that are doing less of the heavy lifting. So like Pro L2 and Invisible limiter are now off.
I found a home in the havoc, steady stay around where you don't dare dwell. Ain't no exit, you can run through outside, stepping like student one dungaroo. Used to lick up on my mistakes till time's up. Don't look back, you cannot undo. Ooh. Yeah, 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 bitch, yeah, okay, yeah, bitch, yeah, 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 bitch, yeah. All in the dark, all of my.
So like those little changes I made post the notes are to make up for the fact that like you add volume to the vocals. It's starting to change the balance of the beat and the balance of everything else, and then you get a little bit more harshness from the vocals, so you want to dip that out a little, but you don't want to dip it out just from the vocals because it's the way it's like changing the balance of the song. I just dip it a little on the all music. It's like a balancing act, because if you add more on one plate, you have to add more on the other, I guess. You know, if you're holding two things, if you're adding more weight somewhere. Twitch is scary, man. Brass Tracks is here. This is crazy. Now I'm scared to talk. speak. I think we need more people to speak on my Twitch. I think we need my assistants to come in and speak. I told Nate he should start doing Ableton classes, like Ableton basics classes and production classes on my Twitch. Me and Sloza got to do a stream. I mean, streaming in general, it's Kenny told me, like, once you start streaming, you're gonna love it. And I'm just like, I don't have the same personality as you, Kenny. And it's just like, it's heavier than like if I just mixed a song, you know. It's there's more weight behind streaming. Like for me, it's not like what I do, what comes to me naturally as a skill is not like dealing with the same questions every day and doing like, you know, it just feels very Groundhog Day sometimes, you know, like you stream every day and every day someone's like, what headphones do you use? What mic is it? What's your favorite plugin? And it's like, I use these headphones, the ones that are on my neck every stream. You know, like, and then if you don't answer, they just keep asking instead of just looking it up. You know, those kind of things. Like, you know, you just try and like ignore it and do whatever. I just don't have the personality for that. Like, but I want music in general to be democratized, and I want more people to have access to music and more people to understand engineering and more people to see what the process is actually like. And there's not a lot of access right now for people to get into studios and do the things that they want to do. So I felt like this is the right thing to do for y'all. But yeah, finding a balance and, like I said, having more people involved, because when it's just me in the room, it's a lot of like, oh, let me look at chat. And then a lot of like, why did I just do that? But you know, it's for the, if we're helping people, I think that's the most important thing. I'm hungry. Anyways, so we're done with this song. I have lots of moderators. There's 3 of them are typing above you. 4 of them. 5 of them. Look at all the swords. Samantha, did you try that place? Isn't it good? And normally, like in general, my process for mixed notes is, damn, these notes aren't correct. And then like by the time I start doing them, I'm like, damn, this person knows engineering better than me. And that's kind of how this is going. Like I'm like, oh. Okay, so this is like a... I want to be able to zoom in. I like this. See, this, like notes like this, like as much as it seems kind of hard to interpret. Like for me, like this is so easy to figure out. Okay, let's go to stop. Let me make sure. Get a haircut. No, it's like perfect. That's like, you know, when it's a balance thing like that, like strictly like so, like there's so much of a balance difference there. That's a creative choice that I made, and it's not my song, and so like having like that makes it very easy to visualize what needs to change.
Getting iced up, I'ma still need me to pillion dang. Let me know what I'ma need to address. Like an old school me to my mattress. You say no money, you say glad less. You say no time, you say mad mess. I can never let them know. Try and find better ways in a haze. I can never get them though, I can never get a go. All I hear is I don't got the tame or the tough or the tummy. Just do this, then that for me. Say later when it comes to what I really want. Just keep them moves on milli time. Just keep that silly fine brilliant. Stay home, pussy boy better just lay low. Either you quit or get a halo. Level up or you really get got. I'm really up, really ready, you're not. Fuck you and the team you brought. I see you scheming like I know where 12 in a post up, what a convenient spot. Don't be on time like I don't see the dot. After I free the pot. Out of my lungs, out of my jam, out of my fam. Linus, I talk about miles like damn. Quit treating kettles like they what I am. Rush that fuss, then blow my gram. Mind on quagmire like clam. I be like, stop. That's what I promised to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care.
It's like a 4 dB change.
Really,
It says 2, but that's the thing. It's like when it comes to like how things are compressed, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, depending on how.
Really stay home, pussy boy better just lay low. Either you quit or get a halo. Level up or you really get got. I'm really up, really ready, you're not. Fuck you and the team you brought. I see you scheming like I know where 12 in a post up, what a convenient spot. Don't be on time like I don't see the dot. After I free the.
It's like a 4 dB shift in each direction, really.
That for me. Say later when it comes to what I really want. Just keep them moves on milli time. Just.
I want to see how much.
Promise to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better stop. That's what I promise to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better. If I'm a halo, level up or you really get got. I'm really up, really ready, you're not. Fuck you and the team you brought. I see you scheming like I know where 12 in a post up, what a convenient spot. Don't be on time like I don't see the dot. After I free the pot. Out of my lungs, out of my jam, out of my fam. Linus, I talk about.
This has my the little this joint, the little delay throw.
Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better stop. That's what I promised to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all. Get it none. Tell them all they better. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better stop. That's what I promised to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better.
So it's like a thing where like in the moment, the only thing I'm listening to, like, because this is here and this here and they're obviously far too quiet.
Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you run. Let me know how long you last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better.
What I'm listening for there is like this transition and this, and everything else kind of falls behind me because I'm like, did the drum slap? Is it a sort of 808 coming through?
Cause I can tell you.
Honestly, in my opinion, right? If you muted, if I made everything between this and this inactive, the vocals and the 808 are what are driving this song, right? When I start to mix, I say what are the most important things about this song? And it's probably obviously the vocals. And I think like the 808 is driving
how mattress, you say no money, you say glad less, you say no time, you say mad mess. I can never let them know.
Like, if you have this,
just do this, then that for me. Say later when it comes to what I really want. Just keep them moves on milliton. Just keep that silly fine brilliant.
Everything else,
stay home. Pussy boy.
Everything else is filling in the space here, right? What's driving this record to be a great record are these three elements, in my opinion. So when I'm missing so much. When I'm mixing and the things that the decisions I'm making are always informed by what's important in the song to me. So like a lot of my sound, and people are like, oh, your sound comes from bleh. Wrong. My sound comes from, I pick things that are important and I make them shine and everything else falls behind them. So a lot of the times when I get notes, it's things like, hey, you completely forgot that these and these are supposed to be as important.
Last, cause I can tell you really don't get it none. Tell them all they better stop. That's what I promised to not. That's what the enemy on. Fuck them all, then I don't care if they drop. Don't get no fuck about your talk. Don't get no fuck if you wrong. You really don't get it none. Tell them all they better. Stay home. Pussy boy better just lay low. Either you quit or get a halo. Level up or you really get God. I'm really up, really ready, you're not. Fuck you and the team you brought. I see you scheming like I know where 12 in a post up. What a convenient spot. Don't be on time like I don't see the dot. After I free the pot. Out of my lungs, out of my jam, out of my fam. Linus, I talk about miles like damn. Quit treating kettles like they what I am. Hush that fuss, then blow my gram. Mind on quagmire like
Get out of here, Doonies. In general, you want your monitor set to 0 unless there's a reason they should be set less to 0. But you're if you start to push them past 0, you're introducing like distortion, I believe. Once you pass -6 on your interface. Yeah, exactly. Like I normally like turn mine down, if anything, to protect them. Yeah, my print track is my master. I use an aux instead of a master so that I can do different things that I need to do, and also so I can commit and just call it a day. How about saturate Vox? So you look at revisions are such a big part of engineering that I really wanted to talk about them and I really wanted to cover them because in general, like it's probably like engineers don't talk about it, but it's probably like the most like frustrating mentally part of this job, right? Because you're sending something that you think is right. Somebody comes back and they're like, you're wrong. And you're like, but, and they're like, yeah, but you're wrong. And like, so there's like this whole ego thing that goes on where you're initially you're like, no, they're wrong. And then you do it and you're like, oh, I was wrong. And so, I mean, that's like how it goes for me. I'm always like, they're wrong. And then I do it and I'm like, fuck, I'm wrong. I was wrong. And I think like not like a lot of engineers, you know, talk about it in a completely like, you know, robotic way. They're like, it's just part of the job. No, man, this shit is like a mental. You go through like mental gymnastics to figure out like the balance between their notes and your initial thoughts. I'm printing offline. Sometimes the revision notes will tell me what the artist wants, but they say what they want in a different way and I can do it differently. So I'll basically start the mix over. Like if it's so far from what they want, instead of ignoring notes, I'll do it in my own way. Here, I'm just going to print this one online because I have to pee. Not on the freaking toilet. I'm not pooping, Sidereal. Oh, not pooping. Three down. 6 to go. Let's hide that again. Shameless. I'm trying to remember this. Right, the reverse. What did I do on the song? I gotta go back now. I gotta go back and see. Yeah, I promise you. I promise. And I think y'all are great. And I love you. And I want you to be great. I don't care what you think I should do to this song. Or any song. I don't. Please don't give me notes, your notes, based off what you hear through Twitch compression and so on and so forth. I promise. This is like a not really like a give and take thing. All right, Saturday. I'm glad Saturday's here. Maybe I should interview Saturday this week. Saturday, you want to get interviewed? Sarah! Oh, you have a cool thing. Sarah is the best. She works at Astro and she sent me this, my favorite thing ever. Where's my controller? I got it. I can't live without it. It goes with me everywhere now. I just keep it on me. Yeah, do an interview with Little Bro.
Don't know why you love me. Don't know why you won't step. Don't know why you won't just hit. Don't know why you love me. Don't know why you won't step. Don't know why you won't just hit. I sit high at the gables. I get you speaking on fallacy. Can't go tell me no fables. Battle on various stables. Sorry, I'm ghost. I need my time. Focus on low, try and keep on climb. Making my check, but I bleed my dime. Hey, yeah. Don't know what I say, I know what I do. Go ahead, let a nigga know how you feel. Just gonna say way more about you. Go ahead, let the dupe talk fly. Acting like a baby, don't whine, don't cry. Why you mad that we leveled up on y'all? You ain't working to it cause you never gon' try. Tell the goofy retire. Tell the grid to say bye. 23s could do higher. Why you spread every lie?
Yeah, that seems to solve his issue with that, which was that he wanted the vocals to be more... Wait. Did I delete a note already? Thin. There it is. Thin. Okay. Let's get rid of this note. That solves that. Beginning of verse quiet. Okay, so that seems like a compression issue.
Patience not allowed. Just hit. I sit high at the gables. I get you speaking on fallacy. Can't go tell me no fables. Battle on various stables. Sorry, I'm ghost. I need my time. Focus on low, try and keep on climb. Back my check, but I bleed my dime. Hey, yeah. Don't know what I say, I know what I do. Go ahead, let a nigga know how you feel. Just gonna say way more about you. Go ahead, let the dupe talk fly. Acting like a baby, don't whine, don't cry. Why you mad that we leveled up on y'all? You ain't working to it cause you never gon' try. Tell the goofy retire. Tell the grid to say bye. 23s could do higher. Why you spread every lie? Deja vu glitch. Feel a change every time I twitch. You can worry about the comfort at the moment. I'm kinda sheep on the couch till I'm rich. Yo. No patience, not allowed. My days all out of luck. On my days all out of luck. Shameless and out of love. No patience, not allowed.
I think it's it looks like, it honestly looks like the first two lines were on a different aux and then sent to me. Because just based off the dynamics, it's just like visually looking at it.
I sit high at the gables. I get you speaking on fallacy. Can't go tell me no fables. Battle on various stables. Sorry, I'm ghost. I need my time. Focus on low, try and keep on climb. Back my check, but I bleed my dime. Hey, yeah. I sit high at the gables. I get you speaking on fallacy. Can't go tell me no fables. Battle on various stables. Sorry, I'm ghost. I need my time. Focus on low, try and keep on climb. Back my check, but I bleed my dime. Try and keep on climb. Back my check, but I bleed my dime. Hey, yeah. Don't know what I say, I know what I do. Go ahead, let a nigga know how you feel. Just gonna say way more about you. Go ahead, let the dupe talk fly. Acting like a baby, don't whine, don't cry. Why you mad that we leveled up on y'all? You ain't working to it cause you never...
Were they maybe messing with the because if you just look at the peaks just by visually looking, it looks like either they tweaked up the compressor mid take or...
I know what I say, I know what I do. Go ahead, let a nigga know.
Nothing is as quiet here or as loud as here throughout the whole take. The compression looks a little smoother. Anyways.
I sit high at the gables. I get you speaking on fallacy. Can't go tell me no fables. Battle on various stables. Sorry, I'm ghost. I need my time. Focus on low, try and keep on climb.
I'm not crazy, right? Or whatever. I'm crazy, probably.
And I sheep on the couch till I'm rich. Yo. No patience, not love. On my days all out of luck. On my days all out of luck. Shameless and out of love.
Okay, so he doesn't like the underwatery thing. So just that.
No patience, not love. On my days all out of luck. On my days all out of luck. Shameless and out of love. No.
I wish the founder thing, because like the founder, I guess it's only first 20 people, which is cool. But that filled up in like the second I said, before I even streamed that when I was a partner, there were founders, right? So like, I just feel like it should have been like a week, and anybody in that week gets to be a founder. Okay, that's gone. That's gone. And 13 to 25 and 140. So it's the pre-hook.
Shameless and out of love. No patience, not alive. My days on out of luck. My days on out of luck. I sit back, one touch to the face. I don't even know what they're. Shameless and out of love.
So like in general, like my fear here would be that I would be affecting the overall volume too much here if I just clip gain or gain, like if I just turn this down 2B, for example. Because essentially what I'm doing is affecting how it's hitting all these things, which are treating everybody the same. So instead of doing that, I'm compressing the vocal a little.
Shameless and out of love, no patience, no.
So it's peaking less and just a little bit quieter overall.
Days on out of luck, on my days on out of
Because I
luck.
feel like that translates a lot, especially like we're talking about, like on the back end, like once everything's done and like once I've already like, this is hitting a compressor a certain way that I liked, right? So just lowering it is actually going to have it maybe not hit the compressor as hard, which will still end up being louder.
Shameless and out of love, no patience, not alive. My days on out of luck, on my days on out of luck. I sit back, one touch to the face. I don't even know what they're finna brace. They don't
It's not
understand.
really about controlling the dynamics, because if you look, these are compressed vocals. They're compressed. Like just looking at them, like this is not an uncompressed vocal. The dynamics are controlled. You know what I mean? Like these are wet stems, I believe. Usually for this project it's been wet stems. And like I said, like it seems as if like these first two lines that he was talking about, like it was probably like the first first take or one of the first takes when they were dialing it in, and they dialed it in between. It's less about controlling dynamics and more about controlling output volume into the dynamics.
Shameless and out of love, no patience, not alive. My days on out of luck, on my days on out of luck. Shameless and out. They don't understand that I'm getting first place every damn time, like every damn day. Every damn day. Don't know why you love me, don't know why you won't step, don't know why you won't just say. Don't know why you love me, don't know why you won't
What the
step,
fuck
don't
is
know
happening?
why you won't just hate.
I'm trying to stop the song. So Alec, this is the only note I saw where I was like, I'm scared of this note. Because we're getting to my favorite song, which turned out my favorite way. And the way I got the guitars to stand out on that song, I love.
Don't know what I say, I know what I do. Go ahead, let a nigga know how you feel. Just gonna say way more about you. Go ahead, let the toupee talk fly. Acting like a baby, don't whine, don't cry. Why you mad that we leveled up on y'all? You ain't working to it, cause you never gonna try.
Wait, not Slozo. You can go do whatever you want. I need to reach out to Trolley. Then we need Candy in the studio. I know Trolley. I used to be endorsed by Trolley. They used to send me all this crazy shit. Send me like a pair of like underwear. This is weird. I think I just need to follow up with them. Oh, y'all don't get underwear from your favorite gummy worm company? Plebs. No, just regular underwear with like gummy worm images on them. It's for the Deadpool 2 movie. Y'all don't get those? All right, well, sorry. Didn't mean to bring it up. Get out of here, potato. So, I rewatched Chuck. Speaking of hackers, I rewatched Chuck. Still holds up, very surprisingly, for a show from like the early 2000s, which in general those shows have held up. Almost all of them have held up terribly. Yeah, it holds up. I mean, it's very like cheesy, but because I think it was cheesy on purpose, and even for that era was cheesy, it like actually holds up really well. You can bounce online too, because I feel like a lot of people haven't heard these songs, and we're again for anybody that is just stopping in, we're going over mix notes, which is a huge part of the process for engineering, and mixing, and like artist feedback is a huge part of what we do. We are 4 out of 9 songs done. It's fine. Everything's fucking cool. Everything's great. You don't want a foot. I have like 8 million different like tics that happen throughout any time I'm speaking publicly. One of them is tapping my feet, which y'all don't see, obviously. If I had a foot switch, I would just constantly be muting and unmuting. What I need a mic switch with a light. Because my old one had a light, and that helped a lot. But this one doesn't have a light. I need a light. We need a passive mic switch that's a full mute that has a light. Well, this isn't the same kind of mute, because so I guess my routing is super complicated because I want high quality audio out of my PC, right? So instead of so we have my Mac with my interface, right? And then we have my capture card, and we have the mic, and we have the mic going through this interface on this computer. So essentially everything on this computer is being processed through my Goliath interface, my Antelope Goliath interface, and then it's going out 2 channels all together, this and that, into another interface. Right? Thank you, Phantom. And then that interface is going into this computer, which is being controlled over here. So the Stream Deck only controls the mute here for everything, because it's all together. If I had the this mic on its own channel on the discrete, that'd be a different story. But I do not. I've thought about it, but it's just easier this way. And then even if I had it on the discrete, I would need another interface to just be solo, to just be able to solo this output wise. Zach's already a mod, man. Friggin' let it go. I made him a friggin' mod. Now he's just in the mod channel all the time with his. Can somebody in the Discord repost the picture of Zach's cable management with all the hair? Cider, you're a VIP. I can't believe he posted that. Did he not zoom? Like, you gotta zoom in on your own pictures.
Let me down. In the playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy when I'm on the ground. I wish I was a kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. In the playground of the birds, my friend.
So this is guitars pre-processing, or we could highlight them all. Kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. All right, so I turned the guitars down. Okay, let's turn the
playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy.
And I said the intro volume.
Wish I was a kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. Playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy when I'm underground. I wish I was a kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. In the playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy when I'm on the ground, but I'm okay. Hey, 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 hey. I'm okay. Hey, 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 hey. nobody around trying to tether me down. In the playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy when I'm on the ground, but I'm okay.
This is one of those moments, Coins. I think I could fix the balance here. I think I know what it is.
I wish I was a kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. In the playground of the birds, my friends blow in the trees. I'm not happy when I'm on the ground, but I'm okay. Hey, hey, hey.
I think I got it, Coins. I think guitar in general is the hardest part of mixing, honestly. I think obviously like a rock engineer would be like 808s are hard. I think in general and so lately I've had so much guitar and it seems like no one knows how to record guitar. I've had so much guitar in so many songs I've been working on, and it seems like people are just DIing guitar and then just fucking it up in a DAW. When like if you really want good guitar tone, understanding mic positioning on the cab and like which amps to use and which guitars to use and like what everything that's going around in the room and all that stuff is so important to one, having a good guitar tone, and two, layering guitars. Because if you're stacking just straight DI all digital guitar and then having all these effects on it, like all you're gonna end with is like crazy phase issues and crazy high end and like no body and like there's no presence to it. Like this is really good, the guitar, because it's super easy to mix. Like you saw what I did. It was very like I had a guitar, I had a mix, and like I never understood when people talk about ear fatigue. Like I never understood it before, and I mixed a song that had like 12 guitar tracks that were all super harsh, and by the end of the mix, like I couldn't hear. Like I had to like take like 2 days off to just like not listen to anything loud. But I think like if you're gonna be an engineer that records guitars, like you kind of gotta know, you know. And I think a lot of people are recording guitars and they're like, I'll just figure it out as I go. And it's one of those things where guitar tone takes up so much real estate in a mix that if you get it wrong, it's affecting the whole song. Yeah, but if you're going for a sound, which most people when they're recording are going to, they're imitating, you know, something they like about another song. They're going for a vibe that they've heard before. Like it helps to do your research and understand like what you're going for and why. Acoustic guitar is easy. You just mic the fucking neck and the body, and you just make sure the mics are far enough away from each other and close enough to the guitar. What are good mics to use per se? That's a loaded question, I think. It depends on, you know, what sound you're going for, who you're trying to emulate. Is there an error you're looking for? You know, like I think in general, mic technique in general is one of the most well documented things because engineers that's like back in the day, that's like what that was their way of expressing themselves, you know. And so in the analog world, there's so many interviews with engineers talking about like what fucking mics they use. Like if you want to emulate a Beatles song, you can just look it up, and there's like all the fucking session notes are out there. U87's great. We used to use a U47 on acoustics, which like give you like the full everything. It's so warm. I'm trying to think of the name of the fucking mics that Jason uses. We'll just have Jason on to talk about guitar miking this week. How about that? Jason wants to be on the stream more, so I want Jason to talk about it with y'all. Did I cut off a little last time? There's got to be. Because that's who I learned from, you know, and he's the one who showed me. Fucking, why can't I think of the name of this mic company that we use on guitars all the time? Gosh, they're not expensive either. I mean, we used to use the Audio-Technica joints a lot on guitars in general. No, not Lawton. Hell no. We use the Royer a good bit, sure. It's not like we use the Royer a good bit. I'm trying to remember. We use the what are those freaking, not Rode, trying to remember the name of the ribbon mics that people use it for rooms. They're kind of shaped like a disc. Like the 430 somethings, the Coles. The 414's good. I have one of those somewhere in here. The Cole 4038s are great, but I use them more for rooms than anything else. We had a couple Fender amps. We had like, I want to get all the model numbers because we had all these options, right? And we'd end up trying, 8 mic combinations with 5 different amps and like moving, and like I'd be sitting there with a mic with like a Royer or something, just like slowly pivoting it across the speaker on the cab, trying to figure out where to put it, right? And it would just slowly be moving back and forth. And then Ben would be in the studio. He'd be like, okay, stop right there. And that would take like 30, 40 minutes to get that tone from that amp, from this. And like all of that makes your job easier on the back end, right? And I don't think people realize that like that's the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take the time in the beginning part. You're supposed to really mess around. Like if it's not exactly right, don't say we'll fix it later. Get it exactly right. And I think like a lot of people are like, if you don't have the taste or the experience to make that decision, let somebody else do it. Tell them to hire an engineer that is more well versed in guitar recording. It's not a bad thing to, if it's better for the song, to know your limits. This guy keeps spamming me his Cardi B Up remix and telling me to send it to Cardi B on Twitter. Just thought y'all should know that's like the interaction I get on the internet. It's pretty cool. Wait. We're missing something? This is then. Wait a second. I didn't even see that note.
Still I'm there. Don't know if I really am aware. Just keep me up here. They only love me when I'm in there. They all forget about me till I'm there. Don't know if I really am aware. Just keep me up here. I wish I was a kite floating around with nobody. In the playground of the birds, my friends blowing. Wish I was a kite floating around with nobody around trying to tether me down. In the playground of the birds.
Wait, hold on. Alec, we're missing this. It's not in my session. Because here's the bridge, and there is nada. And I prepped these, I believe. So I just highlighted everything and brought it in, so yeah, it's missing. I mean, it should be an easy fly-in if it's the same vocal treatment, you know? I don't have a candle. It's out. Look. This one is like a barbershop candle from a barbershop. And this one is the one I really like, but it's like $85 minimum. And then I burn it out in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, this wasn't worth it. Boy Smells? No, it's not Boy Smells. This is Burrito. I like Boy Smells. But they burn fast. They're smaller. This lasted me almost a month. If I use it every day. Boy Smells last like a week. Hold on. Let me just switch to the GoPro. See, they gave Casey Musgrave. I asked Boy Smells to help me make like a custom batch of like 100 candles to sell and give away. Really just to give away, but see, I like the cedar stack. Kush, ash, and cedar stack. First 3 smells we ever engineered. But they're small candles, right? They don't look like the full-size candles. Because the full-size candles are votive scent. Because this is my favorite one from Boy Smells. They're $32 each. And they look like, I don't know, is this cedar? Are these smaller? So these are 9 ounces total, and this one is 8.5 ounces. So these are all tiny fellas. I want the... Okay, so this is like a 3-pack of the Winter Wood bundle. Maybe I'll get this one. This is the full set of the fellas. I'm hungry. Can you guys hear that? Can y'all hear that? Well, I like this apocalyptic one, like this one is my favorite candle. It smells like, I like ash. I like woody, like fire smells, like kind of like the deeper, less, I don't like anything fruity or like flowery personally because it just makes me kind of nauseous. Like this always smells like, I like the smell of old stuff. Like when I go to like an old house, you know, it's always like, it just reminds me of like family or whatever. And then I feel at peace. And then like all that fruity, whatever stuff just reminds me of like, I don't know. I just can't get it. I can't get behind it. The like more sweet smelling stuff, I just can't. Ugh. Strawberry and ocean, that sounds like a nightmare. Or like the citrusy, like when I use mid-side, it's to give myself a little bit more space or to take away a little bit of the, like if I'm dipping out the sides, I'm trying to like make something feel tighter, and if I'm boosting them, I'm trying to make something feel wider. It's very simple. That being said, mid-side is like the easiest way to create phase issues that you'll never recover from, and that's why if you see me do mid-side, it's in such small amounts because I've always been I'm just gonna, what's the strike through? Let's just make it italic real quick because I don't know what to do about that. All right, we're going to wait. We're moving on. Slows up. Your mom didn't bring me food. It's kind of fucked up.
Weeded, I'm tweaking, I'm geeking, I'm hot. Dream my stay every now and then again. Moving Dakota, my pen is a hennepin. Cycles are trying to refine on my zen again. I'ma stay goofy and scatterbrain when I win. Can't handle reruns anymore. Still be too high up, still be too druggy. I won't say which ones anymore. I'ma just lay in the cut, higher than fuck. Spot you on overconstructive. Worry about the little details, forget when it's counterproductive. Let every day let me do what I want, now I'm fucking destructive. I'm in a hole, I'ma climb out of, I'm in it though. I'm in it though, huh. Fucking minute. Smoking on Tyranitar squad, you got no money for Shrek pack. Coming up short like a far quad. Give me a break in the verbal like BG. Scribble in water, my talking on Fiji. Source of my power be making me fidget. Head spinning when I move, he be jigging. I be like, hey, you be like, food, you be on plate. I be like, hey, you be like, wait. I be like, hey, you be like, wait. Mom be on, say, you be on, shake.
Okay.
I be like, great. I be like,
Okay, I think what I'm doing here, oh. I didn't add any reverb to this, and his note is less reverb, and it's a wet vocal. So I think what he's hearing is the devil lock, which I cannot.
I'm in it though, I'm in it though, huh. Fucking minute. Smoking on Tyranitar squad, you got no money for Shrek.
I don't want to go to the dry vocals personally. I like
druggy, I won't say which ones anymore. I'ma just lay in the cut, higher than fuck. Spot you on overconstructive.
I think it's a you're hearing more and it's louder type thing. So if I lowered the vocals a little, I think that will handle that.
Anymore. Still be too high up, still be too druggy. I won't say which ones anymore.
I like getting wet vocals in general because it it leaves a lot less in the air for up in the air for like debate. It's like, oh, this is what it is. This is the vocal.
I'm geeking, I'm hot. Dream I stay every now and then again. Moving Dakota, my pen is a hennepin. Cycles are trying to refine on my zen again. I'ma stay goofy and scatterbrain when I win. Can't handle reruns anymore. Still be too high up, still be too druggy. I won't. Italy going to Rome. Damn, replay the fuck you think I'm on. I'm weeded, I'm tweaking, I'm geeking, I'm hot. Dream I stay every now and then again. Moving Dakota, my pen is a hennepin. Cycles are trying to refine on my zen again. I'ma stay goofy and scatterbrain when I win. Can't handle reruns. Cycles are trying to refine on my zen again. I'ma stay goofy and scatterbrain when I win. Can't handle reruns anymore. Still be too high up, still be too druggy. I won't say which ones anymore. I'ma just lay in the cut, higher than fuck. Spot you on overconstructive. Worry about the little details, forget when it's counterproductive. Let every day let me do what I want. Now I'm fucking destructive. I'm in a hole, I'ma climb out of. I'm in a
I mean, I was like one of the people who were responsible for like reverb being everywhere in melodic rap. Because it was rap in general in like 2011, 12, whatever, was like extremely dry and thin and sharp, and like every EQ looked something like, hold on, let me put it somewhere that makes sense. Every EQ looked something like this. Like it was like, give me this. It was like this, and then this, and then this. Every fucking rap EQ, and probably even more like this.
Hey. Shut up, dork! My domicile stuck in my dome. Range of my talk that I tuck in a poem. Like who the fuck you finna boss my
my fucking screen. Fuck off.
boss my fam of idiots.
So this is like what rap EQs look like in 2013. Every time I got a session, like
stuck in my dome. Range of my talk that I tuck in a poem. Like who the fuck you finna boss my fam of idiocy or the epitome. Super tank gas in a bucket, I'm gone. Italy.
just like a big low shelf dipping out under 300, like 5 dB. A high pass at like 120, 150. Big boost at like 3K, and then a high shelf. Like everybody was doing it, right? And it was like the sound of rap. Like if you go back and you listen to like rap from like the early 2010s, like it's dry and sharp, right? And that was the sound. It was like, oh, like it's like a C800, and it's ugh. I need to move this screen over here. It'd be so much easier to do all this. I think that's like, yeah, when you talk about ear fatigue. And like I started to boost, like when I was mixing, I would boost 125 in my vocals, and I would put a lot of reverb on it, a lot of effects and delay throws and all this other stuff. And I was taking a lot from like the rock world that I worked on, where like warmth is such a priority, right? Because you're dealing with so many sharp sounds and so many like poor recordings that you're fighting against, that you're trying to reintroduce warmth in like the indie world. Or like we would, when we would like we'd go against demos, they'd be like done with an SM58, and we'd have like a U47. They'd be like, oh, the vocals are so different. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And now you got like Pop Smoke, who's just way on top, and his vocals are way spread out and way huge, and that's like such a fucking vibe. And it's so important that rap has kind of strayed from the super loud snare, super loud kick, super loud 808, super thin vocal to make space for everything that's way on top. Like there's obviously the technology has allowed for us to do more, right? But now the more music goes forward, the more things change, and I've kind of pulled back on all of that, all the effects, all the crazy shit that I used to do, drowning the vocal out just to make it feel like more like spacey and, you know, have more of a like vibe or whatever. because I wanted, you know, the vocal to shine through and the performance to shine through. And now we've gotten better recordings and we've gotten more trained engineers who kind of get it. And I think, like, obviously the sharing of information, like things like this have helped a lot. Like Pensado's place, they've all helped so much. Like the sharing of information, Twitter, YouTube, etc., has helped so much with like engineers who don't have a formal education. And so we're getting a lot of better recordings, which have allowed for better processing and better mixes. And I think that's like a lot of what we're getting now. And I think going back towards more dry performances, I don't know. I like dry, I like distorted, I like heavily auto-tuned. I like really warm vocal performances that are on top. I like moments of heavy effects, but not full songs of heavy effects. You know?
Italy going to Rome. Damn, replay the fuck you think I'm on. I'm weeded, I'm tweaking, I'm geeking, I'm home. Dream I stay every now and then again. Moving Dakota, my pen is a hennepin. Cycles are trying to refine on my zen again. I'ma stay goofy and scatterbrain when I win. Can't handle reruns anymore. Still be too high up, still be too druggy. I won't say which ones anymore. I'ma just lay in the cut, higher than fuck. Spot you on overconstructive. Worry about the little details, forget when it's counterproductive. Let every day let me do what I want. Now I'm fucking destructive. In my dome, range of my talk that I talk in a poem. Like who the fuck you finna boss my fam? A video.
So we have to match the bus. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fly through this. Ready?
Fuck in my dome, range of my talk that I talk in. Gas in a bucket, I'm gone. Italy going to. Weeded, I'm tweaking, I'm geeking, I'm home. Dream I stay every now and then again. Moving Dakota, my pen is a hennepin. Cycles are trying to refine.
You told me to put these in. They're not in the ref. Do we want them or no? Freaking crap! All right. Do we want these out or not? Because that's a notice that these not the ones that aren't in the ref. He wants them out. I'm just gonna mute them, and then we're done with this song. Okay, I'm leaving this here as a. I can lower the reverb without using the dry vocals, but also in general, it seems like he wants his vocals a little lower, but I feel like post mastering, he's going to want them louder. Just FYI. I'm lowering them a little bit, but not fully, like 1.5 dB, not a full vocal down. Because once things are mastered and when you hear it against anything else, you like, in general, like the vocal up always gets picked, right? So anytime I ever feel like I should do a vocal up and I send a vocal up and they hear both back to back, J-O-T with the 47 gifted overall. That's insane. Shouldn't you be spending your money on weird mushrooms or dirt or matcha tea or tulsi tea or some other type of organic tea? Just rude, Sloza, if I'm just being honest. Y'all are just eating a whole bunch of stuff I can't eat. That's pretty cool.
Man, bidding on you, huff it ain't new news. And when they ask put these L's in your pocket, tell them it was all us like you lose. I be like, hey, you be like, food, you be on plate. I be like, hey, you be like, wait. I be like, hey, you be like, wait.
Okay, I think I made a grave error here.
You finna boss my fam, a video C or the epitome. Super take gas in a bucket.
Okay. something went wrong. It's messed up, Siderel.
Fucking destructive. I'm in a hole, I'ma climb out of. I'm in it though. Huh. Fucking minute. Smoking on Tyranitar squad. You got no money for Shrek pack. Coming up short like a far quad. Beat me a brick in the verbal like BG. Scribble and water, my talking on Fiji. Source of my power be making me fidget. Head spinning when I move, PBG. I be like, hey. You be like, food. You be on plate. I be like, hey. You be like, wait. I be like, hey, you be like, wait.
Siderel said he had a charcuterie board that was just chocolate covered almonds and hot Cheetos. And I was like, you can't just put stuff on a wood plank and call it charcuterie. I feel like that's not how it works. Then he got all upset and started yelling about charcuterie and how his charcuterie was better than my charcuterie. And I was like, I'm not even making a charcuterie board. I'm just telling you how that's really, I don't think that's how they work. And he just started screaming. I just ordered like food for 4 people, so if anybody's hungry. No, I'm not vegan. I'm gluten-free, and I don't eat chicken or red meat. I'm basically pescatarian and gluten-free. And I don't have any dairy. I'm thinking about going full vegetarian and like keto or vegan and keto, like no gluten, no like root, anything. But then like, what do I eat? I love fish. Fish is my favorite. Like fish in general is like keeps me sane without seafood in general keeps me sane without bread and cheese and chicken. I love sage. I love sage. Sage is the best. Their cauliflower, their buffalo cauliflower tray with like the 3 options. It's like this big. Done. See, spaghetti's not even here to agree. And I could eat like all their bowls are so good. Like if I lived in LA, it would be, I would have to live very close to Sage in general. But I kind of want to move to like the middle of nowhere, like Texas. I didn't mean like keto. I shouldn't have said keto. I just meant like low carb in general, like mostly like a vegetable based diet as opposed to. I eat a lot of eggs. with the nifty stuff, if I was gonna do it, I was thinking about it, and I was like,
I be like, hey, you be like,
should I sell old sessions without the music, just the sessions on as nifties, like the actual like my sessions, and just the session data, where you would be the only person to own like what I did in the mix. But I don't know that anybody would buy that. I don't know what that's worth. What if I sold my template, my mixing template as a nifty? Like my original mixing template. The problem with selling the Danny Glover session is I couldn't sell the audio in it, obviously. I don't have the rights to it to sell that, but I do have the rights to my session. That's my session. My mix and my recording session. Like, the audio in it is not for sale, but the session itself could be. You wouldn't even be able to open it. So many cracked plugins, though. Just reposting y'all on Instagram. You know, sometimes you just gotta like let out a note. Just one single note. What's the next? I think it's silly math. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. 3 left. I mean, if y'all want to help me connect with developers for nifties, just fucking send me someone to talk to. I'd be down. I don't want to take advantage of a new system. I want to actually do something cool.
boom down my path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my boom down my path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my boom down my path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my boom down my path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Keep it in my knock, silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Boom down your path, boom.
Mining certain cryptocurrency is a thing. Any tips on growing a beard? I shaved my face every day for a year straight, and then my beard grew in thicker, so I don't really care. I think the myth that shaving your face every day makes your beard grow in thicker has some legitimacy to it. I don't know about how much, but some.
I'm goofied up with a spliff. I've been keeping in my head. I've been
Because like
learning
growing a beard isn't in my DNA. Like, it's just not. So I just want to give us a little bit more headroom overall here for the mix, and then I want to lower this a little bit more.
shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Boom down your path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. The world's cruel and we excuse it. It'll try to confuse you too, so don't you lose.
217 right here.
Block, keep it in my dick. Boom down my path, boom.
Wait.
Checks tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Boom down my path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Boom down your path, boom down your block. Keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Silly up, dumb shit's fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Matter of fact, I'm pretty tired. Matter of fact, I'm wishy-washy. Why the fuck that even matter? Either way, I'm finna win. Finick like you hungry or you become up my dinner bin. Welcome to the game, buddy. Watch your heart let winter in. What it up, boy? I'm busting with. Why the fuck that even matter? Either way, I'm finna win. Finick like you hungry or you become up my dinner bin. Welcome to the game, buddy. Watch your heart let winter in. What it up, boy? I'm busting with the blunder. The world's cruel and we excuse it. It'll try to confuse you too, so don't you lose it. Getting older, so it's trying to take my bread now. Some niggas learn too much, all them niggas dead now. One figure salute the Fugazi in the Fed now. Fetty up for nothing to shitty, I'm witty.
If you want to see settings, right? There's VODs for when I actually mix this song. I think if I just show you settings and you don't see why I did what I did, it doesn't help you at all, because what you'll probably do is go and like try and do this EQ on a song that's completely different, or try and put this setting on a song that's completely different, and that's not really how it works. But if you watch me mix and you saw the stream when I mixed this originally, you would see why, and I would talk about why, or I show what I'm doing and what I'm listening for, and that will help you a lot more. No, I would not mix with the sub pack. That would help you a lot more than, let's say, me just showing you all these settings and talking about them. Like, what does that... I guess I have a question for y'all who seem to ask this question a lot, asking about settings. What do you think me showing you my mix bus settings will help you with? Timber! I just saw that. You're a fucking lunatic. But what do you think seeing my settings will help you with, I guess? But I guess unless you're getting the exact same vocal from the exact same vocalist with the exact same beat from the exact same producer with the exact same stems and everything's exactly the same, getting an EQ setting doesn't really help, because I'm not EQing vocals in general when I EQ. I'm EQing these vocals on this song with this beat, with this kind of landscape, let's say, of instruments behind it, right? So you have like this base of instrumentation under, and you have the vocal above it, and you have them sitting on each other, and they're kind of not lining up, right? Like they're doing this, and like the vocals kind of eating the getting eaten by the instrumental here, and the vocals kind of pushing down on the instrumental here. And what you're doing when you're EQing is giving them each their own space and making them each fit with each other a little better. And then also on top of that, you're EQing too, and you're compressing, you're doing all these things to make the overall song sound better. So you're worried about each instrument, each individual instrument, and each individual factor of the song and piece of the song and element of the song. and then you're worried about how they interact together, and then you're worried about how they interact with each other, then you're worried about how they interact as a whole, right? And that's all very insular to that one song. All of that being said, if you just took my final product and applied it to your song, it would sound bad. And so like the reason that I do this is so that y'all can see the process and see what I'm thinking about and how I'm thinking and why I'm thinking that way. And if you've watched more than one of these, you see that my EQing in general, even on the same artist, doesn't look the same song to song, right? With the same artist recorded in the same room, it's because the instrumentation is different, the processing is different, the whole idea of it all is different. Hey, Melon subscribed. Welcome to the tummies. But when you're worried, when you have questions and you're worried about settings and you're worried about the wrong things, the reason that I seem to perpetually be addressing this question and this idea and this concept, whatever you want to call it, of like the only thing I'm missing is somebody else's settings, is because that I want y'all to get to a point where your music sounds good and your mixes sound good and you're comfortable with what you're doing. And if you guys are, and if y'all are ignoring the fundamentals and trying to just copy paste someone else's settings, you'll just always be bad at this. And I don't want you to waste your time coming in here just to copy paste settings and then be be missing just as much as you were missing before. I want you to come in here, see the process, understand the process, have questions about the process, learn my thought process, apply it to your own, like as if you were in the room watching me mix and had a couple questions, and then your process becomes informed by this and you become better and your work gets better. And that way you get better from your time spent here. But if you're here and you're learning the wrong way and you're doing things the wrong way and you're just continuing to do things the wrong way, you're wasting your own time. You're not wasting mine. I'm fucking here either way. But like, I want y'all to get better, and learn from this and do better. And I want there to be more engineers. I want more competition. Like, I'm happy to, have a harder time in my own life if everybody else is having an easier time in theirs. And I just think y'all are doing yourselves a disservice. Oh, I didn't even see that note. I gotta start doing this while I'm doing it. Sorry. And the whole point is like I said earlier, to like democratize the industry a little bit more, because it is fairly closed off to new people. It's very hard to get your own start. And your mix, like, exactly, the way you mix is you, and it should take influence. You should take influence from other people, but you shouldn't copy. You shouldn't want to just copy paste other people's settings. Like, I see so many, and I feel bad for Tilly, because like I get so many sessions where it's just copying like the Migos template, like the artist's name is whatever, and then like the aux is called Offset or Quavo or whatever, and it's just copying their settings. They're like base settings that he starts with that he definitely doesn't finish with. And like, that definitely isn't what he intended when he started to make a template to make his life easier. He didn't intend for people to just copy paste his work and call it their own, you know?
Silly up, dumb shits, fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. The world's cruel and we excuse it. It'll try to confuse you too, so don't you lose it. Getting older, so it's trying to take my bread now. Some niggas learn too much, all them niggas dead now. One finger salute the fugazi in the Fed now. Fetty up for nothing to shittier, I'm wittier. Twilight Zone, I'm out, bitch, I'm Forrest Whitaker. I'ma make him Forrest Gump, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, I'm pretty tired, matter of fact, I'm wishy-washy. Why the fuck that even matter? Either way, I'm finna win. Finna like you hungry or you become up my dinner bin. Welcome to the game, buddy, watch your heart let winner in. What it up, boy, I'm bustin' with the blunder. Twin City 12, dodging pack runner. Inver Grove Heights, cops fucking racist. West St. Paul, cops Stevie Wonder. I ain't goofied up with a spliff. I've been keeping MIA. I've been learning how to live. Way too many in my way. On jelly like Jiff. Trying to mitigate my apathy. It told me only if. Hey, I ain't goofied up with a spliff. I've been keeping MIA. Been learning how to live. Way too many in my way. On jelly like Jiff. Trying to mitigate my apathy. It told me only if. Oh, yeah, hey. Silly up. Lofty up in the distance. With the money bags tucked up. Swear to God, life is either 1,000 cranes I don't ever bother to make or it got me fucked up. I the path I chose with a mean mug, best size 30-20 even when
I'm going through because I don't hear what they hear right now.
Silly up, dumb shits, fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. Boom down your path, boom down your block, keep it in my math, keep it in my knock. Silly up, dumb shits, fucking up my checks, tripping on my thoughts, sucking on my dick. The world's cruel and we excuse it. It'll try to confuse you too, so don't you lose it. Getting older, so it's trying to take my bread now. Some niggas learn too much, all them niggas dead now. One finger salute the fugazi in the Fed now. Fetty up for nothing to shittier, I'm wittier. Twilight Zone, I'm out, bitch, I'm Forrest Whitaker. I'ma make him Forrest Gump, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, I'm pretty tired, matter of fact, I'm wishy-washy. Why the fuck that even matter? Either way, I'm finna win. Finna like you hungry or you become up my dinner bin. Welcome to the game, buddy, watch your heart let winner.
They're probably hearing this, and as much as I like it, I get it. Some people don't.
Let winner in. What it up, boy, I'm bustin' with the blunder. Twin City 12, dodging pack runner.
Well, I think like the benefit here is that you all get to watch someone who you wouldn't normally get to watch do their job without, assisting them or being their intern or whatever, because that's the main way people get in, and that costs a lot of money. Like most people they intern for free. They don't make any money. They have to do other jobs. They have to they have to go into debt, etc. This is my way of doing that without, having interns and entering that like terrible cycle. I think I covered the notes, by the way. Yeah, this is the same thing. Because I think the cycle in general is, not helpful to anybody. I'm glad I interned, and I'm glad I interned for who I interned for, and I'm glad I learned how I learned. But would I have been much happier and much better off if I was getting paid the whole time? Yeah, 100%. Would I have appreciated it any less if I was getting paid the whole time? Fuck no. So that is, what it is. And I don't want other people to suffer just because I suffered. So that's why I do this in general. It's not for me. It's not really something that I ever saw myself doing, streaming. But it is an opportunity to pass on the knowledge that I was lucky enough to learn to other people without having them go into a world of interning and free labor for the sake of maybe learning enough to go out on your own. And I think, as much as I harp on it, as much as we talk about it almost every time I stream, that we're in a state of audio and where people like myself, Ali, Mike Dean, Josh Goodwin, people that are streaming and giving away information for free, are all hoping that y'all take a little bit from all of us and apply it to your own sound and move forward. And none of our intentions in the whole thing are for y'all to come in here and ask for a preset or what our settings are. Not one single one of us, unless we're showing something that's like a trick or like an effect setting or something like that. None of us are at all inspired or excited or happy or intending on y'all coming when y'all come in and ask for presets or settings and stuff like that. That is such the polar opposite of our hopes when we started doing this. Truly. The opposite of what any of us intended. And obviously we don't get to control that. It's booking at dowhatsoundsgood.com. I think it's in here if you just ! mixing or booking at dowhatsoundsgood.com. It was a distorted slap delay. I didn't take it off. I just lowered it like 15 dB. There it is. Inquiries. But yeah, I think like, and I'm sure the viewers, people who are watching, people that watch all the time, are probably sick of me addressing it and sick of the conversation cycling around these questions that don't seem to help anybody because they are here to learn, and the people that are here to learn are probably like, oh, this again. But there's always new people, and we're trying to build the right culture here. We're trying to build the right culture of people asking the right questions and learning the right things. And, you know, like if somebody that from this stream ends up taking a job from me one day, then I did my job. Then I did a good job. Right? And so to do that, we kind of got to harp on these things. We kind of got to hammer these things into people's heads, like, you're asking the wrong question, and asking the wrong question is the main reason most people don't succeed. And because they weren't taught to ask the right questions, because they didn't have the opportunity to learn under the right person who taught them the right way of thinking, right? And I was lucky enough to learn under Ben and Jason and Miles and Graham and all these engineers and Joe Fitz and Elliot Carter, and even from my assistants like Justin and Childs and Nate and Crystal and Andrew and Mike. Like, I learn from them every day, and like you have to learn from everybody around you, but you also have to learn from the people who are teaching you the right way to think. Eddie, thanks, subscribe for 2 months. Thanks for coming back. And I think, like, as much as we're just harping on the same thing and going over it and over and over and over and over and over and so on and so forth, shut up. Eventually, the hope is that, you know, those questions happen less, and yeah. The more we talk about it, the better it'll be.
Above my bed, and I stare at it when these ugly bitches give me head, but I hate myself.
So far away from what I said I want from me. I'm such a wannabe, I'm done today. What's good? I'm 86 little parts of me for the intel. I don't wanna be stoned, being me has been hell. I'ma call me okay, like who gon' call the bluff? Oh, I don't mean to do this, sorry, I don't got no control, no. Making the addict of my life. Oh, I don't mean to be this, I don't mean to play this, sorry, I don't got no control, no. Safeguarding lies, I won't believe. I'm so far away from what I said I want for me. I'm such a one. Every day is not enough. 86 little parts of me for the intel. I don't wanna be stoned, being me in hell. I'ma call me okay, like who gon' call the bluff? Oh, I don't mean to do this, I don't mean to say this, sorry, I don't got no control, no. Making the addict of my life. Oh, I don't mean to be this, I don't mean to play this, sorry, I don't got no control, no.
Same note.
Safeguarding lies, I won't believe. I'm so far away from what I said I want for me. I'm such a wannabe, I'm done today. Bye.
I think this is my favorite song.
What's good? I'm unable to beat that truthfully. Rather than
All of Let Mode's like ad libs are fucking incredible. Don't say mute. I fucking figured it out myself. Don't say it. Ah, I did a commercial. I'm gonna start producing on stream. I'm not well versed in production, and I've talked about it a bunch of times. Like, this is what I'm good at, so I do it and I show people that I'm doing it. And I'm comfortable teaching. I don't feel like there's much to learn from me producing personally. And the whole point of this is to be educational. Like, if you want to learn alongside me, like, that might be cool, and we could talk about that, but can I say whose name? This EP is, I don't know if the commercial's done. EP album, Student 1, coming out soon. Hopefully these are the last notes and we can start making prints. Same with the Days Over stuff. I think we're on print time now. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do Call of Duty streams at all anymore. As much as I have fun doing them, the amount of people who are like, why aren't you mixing? What is this? It's just not worth the brand identity confusion. People are like, you play video games a lot. Like, we're not in a fucking pandemic. Yeah, something like that, Timber. It's just crazy. It's like, you can't do a non-music thing without someone being like, why not the music? It's just like, I'll just do that shit in private with my friends, and true. I'll just do that shit. Yeah, I'll just do that shit in private. It's for me. I wouldn't be playing video games as much as I play video games if the world was open. I'd be out with my friends, doing stuff with my friends, doing stupid shit. Being out in the world, I'd be traveling more. I would have gone to Japan twice in the past 12 months. I didn't do a save as, but the changes on this are pretty small. Oh no. Here's the thing, though. The difference between me playing video games a lot and someone else playing video games a lot is that I spent the last 10 years working 120 hours a week. So whatever the fuck I want to do for the rest of my life, I've earned it. I've worked 30 years worth of hours of what y'all normally do in the past 10 years. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Shut your fucking mouth. Upgrading your interface will give you the most benefits over anything else. Especially if you get like a good interface, you know, if you just get an interface, you can expect very similar results, right? Yeah, just let me download the fucking Kick, dude. Just let me download the Kick, dude. There are the bands. All right, so we're missing a kick. Probably won't change the entire balance of the song. I hope. Oh, look at all this kick that we're missing. Changes everything. Drums.
I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it pill. I'm okay. Keeping it quiet, keeping it quick, getting my bill. I'm okay. I might pack, push it for them dirty. Money on nerdy student with the. I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Keeping it cool. Money on grimy denim, I got dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it pill. I'm okay. Keeping it quiet, keeping it quick, getting my bill. I'm okay. I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands.
Well, when you're upgrading versus, so you upgrade a mic, you're upgrading one thing. You upgrade an interface, you're upgrading the converters. You're upgrading the pre, like the digital pre that's usually included. You're upgrading the outputs. You're upgrading if there's DSP processing, like if you get like a universal audio one, you're updating that. Like there's so much more. Like say you upgrade and you get like you go from like a Focusrite to like an Apollo 8. There's a million differences between an Apollo 8 and a Focusrite Pre, right? You're getting access to plugins, DSP, you're getting access to like their converters, you're getting access to their routing, their digital platform, you're getting access to so much more, where if you just change a mic, all you're changing is the mic, and then it's still going through the same converters, it's still going through the same pre, it's still going through the same everything. The changes you'll hear will be minimal. Like the biggest change I ever had in my career, other than getting a studio, was going from my Apollo Twin to the Goliath. Like I literally, like, my mixes started to take half as long, and then when I got the ATCs, my mixes started to take even less time. Then when I got into a treated room, a real treated room, my mixes started to take even less time, and they started to get better. And I think, really, rather than raising your ceiling, you got to think about saving yourself time, you know? I think the new Apollo has 2 headphone outs. They added it recently. It was a big deal.
Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it pill. Keeping it quiet, keeping it quick. Money on grimy denim, I got dirty pants. Money on nerdy student with the nerdy plans. So many C-notes in the bank, my money set. You wanna hold my money, you need 30 hands. Stack it up.
It's reduced.
Try and get in my bag now, huh? You best get the
There's like a little sound he's asking about.
I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Giving it.
This?
I might pack, push it for.
I think he means this. Yeah.
Push it for them dirty bands. I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it pill on me, okay. Keeping it quiet, keeping it quick, getting my bill on me, okay. I might pack, push it for them dirty bands. Load up in my pockets, in my hands. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm.
We did it. We freaking did it. We freaking did it. Okay, so little recap. I agree with every single note minus the vocal downs just because of how songs translate post mastering, and in general when you listen to them on shittier systems the louder vocals come through. It helps a little bit. Personal taste, it took me a really long time to start to make vocals louder in mixes. I like them a little quieter. I like them to feel like they're part of the instrumental. Personally, I like the change. The only note I disagree with is the Kite's guitar. The only one. But I did it, and maybe I'm right, and maybe we go back, or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we stay this way. I ordered food. It should be. I rendered the print so I know it sounds right, and then I bounce it. It's fine. It's for me. It's not for you. Leave me alone. I do it for me. I don't think that's humidity. It sounds like the cable or the connection's bad, to be honest. It sounds like you have like a loose cable. The noise floor is about quality pre's, quality compression, quality inputs, quality mics, and then most importantly is treating your room. If you're recording in a room that's noisy as fuck, you're gonna have a crazy noise floor. That's just kind of how it is. Uh-oh, my order's coming, my food's coming. Food. Your SM57 is a much less sensitive mic than your condenser mic. That's not really a good way to test. If you test 2 of the same condenser mics, then you would have like a much more accurate way. Like, so in general, you have scientific experiments, right? And they have a control. If you test 2 different mics that are like, one's a dynamic and one's a condenser and one's much more sensitive, and one probably takes 48 volts and one doesn't, you're getting completely different results. An SM57 is used specifically because it's a less sensitive mic that picks up a lot less and much more directional. That's why they're used on stage, and like they have much less problems with feedback and shit like that. So it could still be the cable there. It could still be your pre. It could still be any. There's so many factors that you are not so isolating in that situation by using a different mic that you're not going to really be able to tell. Rule out the cable, rule out the power. You have to so in general, if you're troubleshooting, the way to troubleshoot is to start from start from the beginning of the chain and work your way forward. So you start with the mic, then you go to the pre, then you go to the compressor, and it's very easy to rule things out as you go, because if you switch the thing and the problem goes away as you go, you know what it is. But if you start and you switch something early in the chain, or you switch something like the entire type of microphone, you're not going to be able to figure out the issue. But so like in a situation, I'll check the mic, then I'll check the compressor, then I'll check the pre, then I'll check the computer, right? I mean, it honestly sounds like it's your room from what you're saying, and that an SM57 isn't picking up all that noise in your room, but your condenser mic is. That's what it sounds like. If you're worried about noise floor, or is this? Sorry, I'm worried. Am I mixing up my questions? Is this the noise floor, or is this the intermittent sound? Oh, it's the intermittent sound. It's definitely the mic then. It's definitely the mic. It sounds like a loose connection inside of your mic. Like one of the cables that are going to the XLR connection is loose. And I don't think it's humidity as much as it is, it could be the humidity. It could be the soldering is loose, and when it gets hot and cold, it's affecting that. It could be bad soldering. See, Felix knows. It sounds like bad soldering to me on the cable, which is like on mics that are a little less expensive, you can run into that a little bit more. I'll probably play Warzone later. I mean, maybe. I still have some mixing to do today after this. But I normally play with my friends. If I play, I'll play with Sidero if he's still in here. I mean, in general, my mic is like my U87 has been on the mic stand since I bought it. It's probably not the best idea, but so it's a double-edged sword, right? Most mic damage, like physical damage, comes from unplugging, replugging, and moving your mic. When your mic is on the stand, it is much safer than it is in your hands walking around or being disconnected over and over and over again. Much safer. There's much less room for error. Yes, you might have more dust damage over time, but you're also risking tripping. You're also risking it dropping. You're also risking accidentally pulling too hard and fucking with the connection. There's two schools of thought there. So when it comes to mixing your own beats and learning how to engineer, I think there's two schools of thought here. People tell you if you're a producer, it always helps to have an engineer as like your partner, which I think is true. But I don't think that means have someone that mixes your beats as you make your beats. I think that means have someone in your corner that informs you when you're making the mistakes that you shouldn't make to get the best sonics possible. And then once you're done with the beat and the beat has been recorded upon, you have someone that you can give the proper feedback to that you trust to make the song the best it can be. I do not think that they mean get someone to mix your beats for you.
You saying keep it on track now, ay. Keep trying to get in my bag now.
Only person that's allowed to do a mix tag is KY. Everybody else shouldn't do it. Weirdly enough, I've had to take off mix tags of songs I've mixed from other engineers. And the reason that engineers have mix tags and tags in general is because we are so often not credited. And I think that the onus shouldn't be on engineers to put themselves into the songs to get any credit at all. We should be heavily credited because we are the least compensated out of anybody that works on the song. So credits are our currency, and that's why people are putting their tags on songs, because otherwise nobody fucking knows half the time. There's no... I looked up a song that I couldn't tell if they used my mix or not off of like playing it off my iPhone, and I didn't have my headphones with me. So I was like, oh, did I use my mix or not? And I could not for the life of me find the credits anywhere. Still to this day, still can't, have no idea. So I kind of understand why engineers do it. Do I think that engineer tags are cooler the wave? No, it sucks. It sucks that engineers are forced to do that, but it is what it is. Okay, last one, and then we're ending the stream. Yeah, bring back physical copies of music as a necessity for cataloging. I think anybody who releases music should be legally obligated to release it as a physical copy, at least 100 copies for the people that work on it. It's insane to me that physical copies are gone, considering that no one owns music anymore and there's no one left to catalog physical copies of music anymore. Say Apple decides to say the streaming companies decide to wipe their databases. That's it, right? For anything that only exists digitally. So, yeah, I think physical copies need to come back, at least in small batches, 100%.